So from here, things are pretty straightforward. You go to Palaven's moon, meet up with the Turian Primarch, meet up with Rex and the Solarian diplomat, and talk about curing the genophage. And it's here where the Tuchanka arc begins. A lot of people praise this arc for being the best written storyline in the game, but since this is Mass Effect 3, that's not exactly a high bar to jump over. There's still a number of confusing elements and plot holes to be found. For starters, they mention an indoctrinated Molan STG, which is never explored. Are they saying this is the work of the Reapers? Why would they want to compromise the cure? Doesn't that go against their goal of reserving organic life? Why isn't Rex acting diplomatic here? As someone who used diplomacy in a calm exterior to unite the Krogan, he should know that throwing Solarians around and pulling a shotgun on them is not going to get him what he wants. Why is Cerberus on Tuchanka at all? There's never a cutscene explaining why they're there or what their goal is. It really shows how rushed this game was when they couldn't provide an additional cutscene where Tim explains why he sent troops there. And the shroud they use to disperse the cure is just a random Deus Ex they bring up as a convenient plot device. We're just now hearing about it when the Krogan clan members have been scouting the entire planet. I find it hard to believe that no one found this stupid thing before now. And if the shroud is their plan, how does it have enough power to run the dispersal if Tuchanka has been a wasteland for years? There's literally no solar energy because the planet was decimated by nuclear holocaust. In the bomb side quest, they mention a weapon that was used in the Krogan rebellions that apparently no one thought of activating to use against the Reapers. Why wouldn't they reactivate it when Tuchanka is being invaded? Also, how did Cerberus get the intel for this bomb when the information was highly classified? They should not have this type of information that no one else knew about. And even if they knew where to find the bomb, how the hell did they dig it up so quickly? They clearly state it was able to remain hidden for so long because it was deep underground, enough to go unnoticed. So you mean to tell me Cerberus was able to land on Tuchanka without being detected and uncovered this bomb in a matter of hours? That's bullshit. There are just so many moments of plot convenience in this game that if you made a drinking game out of it, you'd be incapacitated in minutes. If you still don't believe me, then perhaps this will convince you. The Cerberus invasion of the Citadel. That comes flat out of nowhere in spite of how impossible it would be for Cerberus to accomplish such a feat. I mean, my god. It's incredible how badly they were power scaled from Mass Effect 1 to 3. In Mass Effect 1, the Cerberus operatives you fought were your average run-of-the-mill thugs. They were described as a small subgroup in the Alliance that went rogue. They did nothing to stand out from other human enemies you battled. In Mass Effect 2, Tim spent billions of credits resurrecting Shepard. I'd imagine Tim spent a lot of resources and money into the Lazarus Project to bring a single person back from the dead. But in this game, somehow, Cerberus has a shitload of heavy armory and weaponry and the military power to not only invade Tuchanka and Surkesh undetected, as well as Thessia from what we see earlier, as well as have enough soldiers to spare for dozens of other operations, but now they invaded the Citadel with almost no effort. There is absolutely no consistency to how they're structured. They're just as big or as small as the plot needs them to be. When Saren invaded the Citadel in Mass Effect 1, he had several advantages that Cerberus shouldn't have. He had a Reaper on his side, as well as the Geth who were armed with advanced technology and capable of easily hacking enemy systems. Are you seriously trying to tell me that Cerberus got on that same level in the span of a few months? That is not possible. There is nothing believable about this situation. Where's the Citadel fleet? Why was C-Sec easily defeated? They never improved their defenses? Do they still have shitty security after 2 games worth of people running rampant around the Citadel? I mean, maybe this would be more believable if we saw Cerberus struggling in some way, but from what we're shown, the battle between Cerberus and C-Sec is completely one-sided. Cerberus should not have defeated C-Sec so easily. The Citadel is the most heavily guarded place in the galaxy. This invasion shouldn't even be happening. Are we really just supposed to believe this was all made possible because Udina disabled security? And that's another thing. Udina was utterly butchered in this game. In the first 2 games, Udina was a douchebag, but he was a necessary douchebag. He acted as a representative for humanity and spoke against the Council's unfair treatment of humans. He also put faith in Shepard because he recognizes them for representing the best that humanity has to offer. He was a tough talker, but also a willing ally when it mattered. He also had an open willingness to work on the dirty side of politics, knowing there would be people who disagree with his beliefs, because he knows that interstellar galactic politics is a necessary part of galactic society.
I'm the one who destroyed the Thorian. I don't remember seeing you around.
We can't all be the hero who charges in to save the day, Commander. But we each serve humanity in our own way. You can't escape interstellar politics. It's part of the big picture, and sometimes it isn't pretty.
He was bold, straightforward, and stood for his beliefs no matter who stood against him. These things help to make Udina an interesting character. Mass Effect 3 ruins his character. Like, completely obliterates it. They basically just made him into a stupider version of Tim, sacrificing his previous beliefs in some stupid single-minded pursuit for power. And it doesn't even make sense since he said this in an earlier scene.
With Parliament destroyed and Shastri gone, I have more power than any human in history. But today, you saw how little that is.
Really? Well, if you have more power than any human in history, what the fuck do you need Cerberus for? Your motivation is asinine. Why do you care how much power you have or how much power humanity has on the Citadel when the Reapers are destroying everything? You have zero reason to sell out your loyalty to Cerberus. He's the human counselor. He is making an alliance with an organization who is the enemy of the Council, which is actively going to reduce his power. He is acting completely against his own interests. He's not even indoctrinated like Tim. For what reason does he think teaming up with Cerberus will make him more powerful? There is literally no reason for this to happen except artificial tension and to force Udina out of the plot. What was even Cerberus's goal here? Even if they did succeed in taking over the Citadel, what did they think was going to happen after? Did they really think there was going to be no revolt from the other species? Did they think they were just going to sit back and accept Cerberus as their new rulers? A lot of them are already on shaky terms with humanity, so I would imagine this would make them look worse. I'd say this would be the most retarded thing to come out of this subplot. But unfortunately,